Archibald Gray checked his watch for the 17th time that day when Millie Lancaster last saw him alive. The superintendent of Elmwood Terrace recalled the elderly handyman lingering by the dumpsters on June 12th, adjusting his wristband with the ceremonial slowness of a clockmaker. He always synchronized his watch hands with the town clock tower, Millie told detectives, glancing at the lobby clock, like he was prepping for a parade instead of fixing flooded pipes. His suspenders divided his plaid shirt into precise geometric sections with mathematical accuracy. The key ring on his carabiner held 34 keys sorted by colored loops. Blue for basement entrances, red for attic accesses, and a single black loop holding apartment 3B's key, inexplicably removed from the main ring a week before his disappearance. Carlos Rivera, his 24-year-old apprentice, still mimics his mentor's ritual. You don't pick a key by its shape, but by the character of the owner. Greedy folks get stiff springs. Widowers get whisper clicks. Dr. Alicia Morrow met Archie at Mabel's diner 4 days before the incident. Their monthly 15th-of-the-month meetings followed the same script: 2 espressos, a shared slice of cheesecake, and a napkin scribbled with numbers Archie would crumple into his pocket. This time he brought a rusty ventilation bracket, Alicia recalled, twirling a sugar packet. Claimed he found it near 3B, said every screw screams when you yank it from the system. Ethan's son drummed his knuckles irritably during questioning. Dad hated chaos. After Mom died, he boarded up 3 rooms to save on heating. Slept on an army cot by the door. Said it was pointless to make a bed if you're on call 24/7. Archie's nightstand held a scrapbook, clippings about Elmwood Terrace burglaries from 1987-2012, pages riddled with cipher marks resembling numbers and clock hands. Carlos showed investigators the notebook confiscated from the handyman's jacket. He logged every service call. Not like normal people. Addresses became coordinates. Clients' names color-coded. Like Mrs. Green in 5A was G5 Olive. The final entry, dated June 11th, read, 2:30 p.m., Y12 red inspection. Required, Torx T20. Notify M about protocol breach. Millie, a 30-year veteran superintendent, displayed Archie's planner to police. Look at his routine. Shift ends 5 r.p.m. Shower at 5:15 p.m. Dinner at 6 r.p.m. Even took his arthritis meds down to the second. Yet he accepted a 6:30 p.m. service call, right when he'd always listened to Sea Tales on AM radio. Archie's basement housed a collection, 723 nuts in Folger's coffee jars, each labeled May 9th, 1996. Boiler Room, 1285 Elmwood Drive. Neighbor Tom Barkley recalled, every Sunday he'd drive to Lake Winnipesaukee, New Hampshire, sit on a bench engraved Marianne and Archie, 1975, and sketch blueprints. Said he'd buy a lakeside lot in 3 years. Alicia adjusted her glasses, tracing the table's edge. He feared aging more than dying. When I suggested a smartphone, Archie showed me a list of stores still accepting checks. His 1978 Timex was his compass. Imagine clipping a keyring hook to a watch band. The portrait formed like one of Archie's disassembled locks. Sergeant Collins, examining the handyman's first aid kit, noted, melatonin sorted by date. June 12's pill was still sealed. First meds he ever missed in 11 years. Something made him break routine. Ethan abruptly stood during interrogation. Asking why Dad changed his will, he called me June 10th, said, you'll learn why keepers need vaults. Hung up like he'd slashed the line. Millie replayed the parking lot footage for the 100th time. Archie adjusts his watch, enters the building, left hand on the railing, right hand gripping a mag light. He always took the stairs, hated elevators since that military hospital incident. Why that day? She buried her face, leaving the sentence unfinished. Officer Riley highlighted the anomaly. Pulling into the lot at 6:28 p.m., Archie checks his watch. The timestamp reads 6:25 p.m. He synced the mechanism, arrived precisely on schedule. But why the military precision for a routine call? At 6:27:59 p.m., surveillance cameras at Elmwood Terrace, NJ captured an elongated shadow stretching across the parking lot asphalt. Archibald Gray walked purposefully, clutching a 1972 leather tool set in his left hand, his father's gift for his 18th birthday. Concierge Millie Lancaster later described the moment with an odd tremor in her voice. He carried that case like an undertaker, pinching the handle with 2 fingers like he feared sullying his gloves. A faded windbreaker barely concealed the embroidered initials MG on his right glove, Marianne's final gift before her death. Linda Marquez, dispatch operator for Birch Emergency Services, received the call at 6:12 p.m. A male voice with distortion requested an experienced plumber to clear pipes in 3B, she stated during interrogation, tapping her pen against a call log printout. When I asked to confirm the apartment, the caller snapped, "The old man at Birch knows where we are." Voice analysis confirmed a scrambler. Frequencies above 3 kHz were entirely filtered. Apartment 3B had been listed as sealed since the Narcotics Division's May raid. Carlos Rivera, Gray's apprentice, provided investigators with a service catalog. Under the Elmwood 1285 column, 3B had Arch's Red Cross notation. He tagged properties with criminal histories that way. The work order bearing the Housing Authority's stamp was forged. Genuine forms carried an anchor watermark, while the June 12th document displayed a pyramid logo. Millie noted Gray paused at the building's entrance, breaking his routine. "He always stopped by my desk for the service log first," recalled the concierge, twisting the key to 3B in her hands. That day he walked straight past like the counter wasn't there. Just adjusted his watch. The hands trembled at 6:29 p.m. 28 minutes later at 6:57 p.m., Dr. Alicia Morrow received an SMS. Need to discuss Marianne. 3B not vacant. 8:00 p.m. at bench, Arch. Alicia's number wasn't in Gray's contacts. Forensic analysts confirmed manual entry. Keys 2 and 5 contained skin cells showing arthritic degeneration. The second-floor stairwell camera recorded Gray at 6:34 p.m., left hand gripping the railing, right hand pressing a 1980s Eveready flashlight to his chest. Notably, the battery compartment was empty, Technician Forrest noted in his report. Zero corrosion on contacts, unused for at least 6 months. Millie insisted the hallway lighting functioned normally. Why a flashlight? Like he was heading to the basement, not the 3rd floor. Gray's backpack contained a 1998 map of Manchester, NH, marked at 5 locations: Elmwood Terrace parking lot, Mabel's Diner, Lake Winnipesaukee, NH, and 2 addresses crossed out. An anonymous invoice for 3B repairs lay in a separate Ziploc bag. Gray never mixed documents with tools. He hated grease stains on paperwork, Carlos explained, displaying his own divided leather briefcase. The chain of events pointed to a fabricated service call. Electrician Tom Hardy from neighboring Precinct 12 testified, "At 5:45 p.m., I saw an unmarked white van at Elmwood's loading dock. 2 men in Navy coveralls unloaded drums. Figured they were hazmat after the drug bust." Rear courtyard cameras had been inoperative since April. The superintendent blamed mold remediation budget cuts. A critical discrepancy emerged in call logs. The original June 12th work order listed 45B, 4th floor radiator burst. Linda Marquez insisted, "At 6:10 p.m., someone ordered me to change the address to 3B. Sounded authoritative? Thought it was a supervisor." Caller ID traced to a payphone near the slaughterhouse at 520 Finch Street, Detroit, MI, dismantled 12 months prior. At 6:41 p.m., Arch reached the 3rd floor. The motion sensor at 3B logged a 30-second pause, precisely his tool check interval. Milo Banks, resident of 310, told neighbors. Heard someone jiggling the doorknob. 3 right turns, 2 lefts. Then silence for 5 minutes, like they froze on the threshold. The 3B's search 3 days post-disappearance revealed anomalies. Latex glove prints on the windowsill mismatched Gray's set. His gloves had unique cross-hatching on fingertips, explained fingerprint expert Karen Shaw. These marks came from generic XL medical gloves. Gray's draft reply to Alicia remained unsent until 6:57 p.m. Forensic techs noted, message composition took 14 minutes, highly irregular for someone who texted using 2-thumb typing. He deleted Marianne 3 times, substituting project and deal. The final version had a space between R.E., Mari-Ann instead of Marianne. The out-of-service elevator became a fatal snare. Engineer Edward Lloyd testified, the cab jammed between floors on May 31st. The pulley worked. Someone manually disabled the safety lock at 5:30 p.m. June 12th. Interior panels held fibers matching Gray's work gloves. Last used May 8th for superintendent-approved maintenance. Anti-inflammatory gel in the backpack served as silent testimony. Dr. Simon Great, no relation, reviewed medical records. Patient took diclofenac daily at 7:00 p.m. post-dinner. Skipping June 12's dose would cause joint swelling by 9:00 p.m., aligning with his phone's last ping. Colleague Joe Burns, a plumber, recalled, he dislocated a finger mid-job in 2018. Finished his shift with a wrench taped to his hand. Tough as nails, but skipping meds? Never. The absence of struggle puzzled investigators. FBI agent Mark Rollins highlighted tool placement. Wrenches lay under the 1 to 2-inch ratchet, opposite Gray's manual's protocol. Main screwdriver missing despite Carlos confirming full inventory. An ammonia odor lingered. Neighbors assumed sanitization, but health department records showed no cleanings scheduled June 12th. Relatives later identified the leather case by its bullet dent, used to shield Gray from a Viet Cong sniper. Inside rested an 1897 pocket watch engraved, "To Archie, follow the rhythm. Dad." Experts confirmed the mechanism stopped at 7:47 p.m., matching the vanished man's final phone signal. At 7:41 p.m., Archibald Gray stood before the door of apartment 3B, his head turned toward the soot-streaked window on the landing. His Timex ticked through the final minutes, synchronized with the city clock tower. In 63 seconds, his phone would stop transmitting coordinates. Tools lay arranged on the floor according to a 1975 textbook diagram, adjustable wrenches to the left, a pipe wrench centered, a ratchet set with bits in a leather case by his right knee. Investigators later noted the unnatural order. A 10mm hex key rested atop a 1-2-inch socket, though the mechanic had strictly followed size hierarchy in life. Milo Banks from apartment 310, smoking on his balcony, heard sharp footsteps ascending the stairs at 7:45 p.m. Squeak of sneakers, Air Max 90s, I remember the sole's sound exactly, he testified during interrogation, fidgeting with his Nike laces. Crazy for an old dude who moved like a wounded bear. The third-floor motion sensors recording captured air disturbances. Analysis revealed 2 vibration patterns, heavy steps at 1.2 Hz, consistent with arthritis, and rapid 2.4 Hz impacts matching a 155-175 lb person running. An Eveready flashlight was found beneath 3B's window at 3:15 a.m. the next morning. Forensic analysis confirmed the device had fallen 30 feet. Its trajectory indicated a throw from a 4th-story window. Oddity: the flashlight's interior retained paint particles matching the roof vent shaft's coating. Clearly used as a signaling mirror, beam reflected to a specific point, suggested optical expert Raymond Quinn, noting scratches on the reflector. Carlos Rivera, inspecting the abandoned tools, first noticed the misplaced M14 wrench. He always stored it under the ratchet, but here, atop the shop rag. Only during emergencies would he break protocol, the apprentice explained, submitting a layout diagram to the report. Prints on the pipe wrench's handle matched Arch's, but finger placement contradicted a working grip, as if someone pressed the tool into an already open palm. The main mystery: the 3-minute gap between Milo's heard footsteps, 7:45 p.m., and the phone signal's termination, 7:47 p.m. Investigators reconstructed the timeline. 7:43 p.m. 3B's motion sensor detects window opening. 7:44 p.m. Arch's step vibrations vanish from third-floor sensors. 7:45 p.m. Airmax footsteps on stairs between third-fourth floors. 7:46 p.m. Roof pressure plate sensor triggered. 7:47 p.m. Final GPS ping at 42.9958 degree RAN, 71.4546 degree W. Electrician Tom Hardy, repairing 6th floor wiring, witnessed a flash above the roof at 7:46 p.m. Like welding but greenish. Thought it was lightning, though no storm, he stated, displaying a left retina burn. Stair rail inspection revealed scuff marks at 4'2", shoulder height for Arch when leaning right-handed. Corroboration of Alicia Morrow's SMS receipt came unexpectedly. Veteran telecom engineer Charles Boyd, auditing cell towers, found an anomaly. Signal loss wasn't from battery drain. Engineered shutdown via 4636 was Tabrar's dialer code. Only someone with deep GSM protocol knowledge could execute this. Elmwood Terrace's intercom had been offline since 6:15 p.m. Superintendent Jerry Faulkner found a detached alligator clip cable in the junction box. External tampering. They hijacked the timer relay to disable call logs, concluded the security systems expert. For Arch, this meant entry-exit records, including a potential Nike-clad pursuer, went unlogged. Case 3's final witness, drunk plumber Freddie Larson, puking by the dumpsters. Dude in coveralls hauled a sack to a black van from the 3rd floor. Time? Screw if I know. Lights were on. His statement dismissed until a cross-street auto shop's CCTV showed a dark silhouette carrying cargo at 8:03 p.m. Beneath 3B's window, Officer Maximov's K9 detected bergamot, Arch's favorite hard candy scent. The trail led to the fire escape before vanishing at a 4th-floor grate breach. Search teams recovered a beige glove fragment monogrammed MG. DNA matched Arch's. His thumbnail held silicone particles from window sealant, though 3B's concrete frames showed no recent repairs. At 7:47:03 p.m., the building's water pressure dropped 29.4 psi for exactly 60 seconds until the basement relief valve activated. Engineers examining roof pipes found fresh solder marks in the attic junction, identical to those made by a dual-heat soldering iron from Gray's toolkit. The Manchester Police Department's investigative division had fractured into 4 factions. Evidence tucked into folders labeled Archibald Gray, Case, Berncher 485612, Taunted Logic. Every theory collapsed against the master's biography like a crowbar against a vault door. Captain Everett Riggs pulled 4 markers from his desk: red for robbery, blue for suicide, black for contract hit, green for evidence tampering. By dawn, the whiteboard resembled a web of contradictions. Forensic specialist Laura Shepard held a fingerprint film strip to the light. Smooth ridges, medical-grade gloves, not hardware store. The index fingerprint on the windowsill had traces of Loctite 454 silicone lubricant. Problem: the window was locked from the inside with a deadbolt, its key still in Archie's backpack. Engineer climber Matt Grayson built a digital model. Someone under 165 lbs could have descended the facade using a gutter hook, but there's no brick scarring, and the flashlight was found 10 feet from the wall. Tossed. Building Superintendent Jerry Faulkner, jingling keys to apartment 8B, muttered, "A multi-lockpick? Half the tenants can't even work their own doors." Gray's screwdriver in 8B. Did the damn tycoon teleport it? Mid-June, heating off, yet radiator pipes in 3B measured 93 degrees. Chemist Natalie Clark dissected the unit. Residual hydroperite. Solid hydrogen peroxide triggers an exothermic reaction when dissolved. Goal wasn't heat. It cleansed organic traces in 40 minutes. This aligned with the water meter, 58 gallons used between 7:58 p.m. and 8:04 p.m. Plumber Freddie Larson sobered up, confirmed. The toilet in 3B flushed 3 times. Weird for a vacant unit. Scenario: someone mopped floors while Archie was on the roof. But how? Detectives re-interviewed Alicia Morrow. The text, "Need to talk about Marianne? I thought Archie found her old letters. For 2 years, he begged me to let him into the basement. He kept boxes of her things there." Her voice wavered. A telecom check revealed a hitch. The message was sent at 6:57 p.m. via the Elmwood 1285 relay tower, decommissioned since May. "Like mailing a letter from a burned-down post office," a technician stated. Son Ethan, seated beneath his mother's portrait, snapped. Dad only stopped fearing Alicia when she was in a casket. Did Marianne even die? Check the double frames. Grayson's team inspected every building fixture. In the attic, beneath fiberglass insulation, they found a heat shrink tube with a Klein Tools serial number, identical to those on Archie's keychain. An electrical circuit break. He could have disabled the intercom longer than planned. But why? Electrician Tom Hardy, chalk in hand, circled a junction box bypass. A damn guardian angel. Had he cut the relay 5 minutes later, security cams would have caught the van. Cross analysis, robbery, $350 missing, but Marianne's gold ring remained in his pocket. A pro would have needed plumbing skills to exploit the heating system's pressure valve and crack the safe, yet tools lay undisturbed. Suicide. Roof winds hit 28 mid-pH. A body could have been blown beyond the perimeter. Psychologist Emily Thorne. Motive after altering his will? Plausible. But his notebook lacks entries for 6/12. Suicides leave breadcrumbs. Kidnapping. Air Max footprints. 7:45 p.m. Duffel bag by the van. 8:03 p.m. Yet the phone's GPS was jammed via engineering code. Pros that skilled don't leave flashlights with DNA. Accident. Not his caliber, Captain Riggs concluded. Amateurs don't write encrypted notes about a contract with M or update wills on Disappearance Day. At the theory crossroads, apprentice Carlos Rivera insisted the master engineered his own trap. The elevator shaft's ideal for surveillance wiring. He'd complained for years that Elmwood 1285 was a rat's nest, but collected data. Concierge Millie Lancaster recalled, that winter he fixed 5B's vents and praised the soundproofing, said, walls here won't even eavesdrop. Gray family attorney Mr. Coulson delivered intel. From 2018-2023, 22 people vanished from the building, all tied to drug trafficking through apartment 3B. Archie rekeyed locks after every DEA raid. What did he see that he never reported? The final nail in the accident theory. Inside the electrical panel door, Gray had chalked an inverted V. His signature circuit check mark. Timestamp, 6/12, 6:33 p.m. Investigators returned to Unit 3B with a ground-penetrating radar when Deputy Captain Riggs noticed an unnatural bulge in the lining of Archie's jacket draped over a chair. Inside a torn seam, they found a 0.25 x 0.35 microfilm strip, an artifact out of place in the digital age. Lab technicians developed the image in 3 minutes. Schematics of 1285 Elmwood Avenue's ventilation system marked with blue pencil. One detail stood out. A 5th-floor damper circled twice. During a vent inspection, technician Grayson scraped an oily residue from the mechanism. The lab confirmed an 83% match to Archie's custom lubricant blend: castor oil, graphite, and pine rosin. Among spare parts, they recovered a torn glove fragment with the initials AG. Captain Riggs laid the duct schematics across the task force table. This is an escape plan. The robbers hired Gray to infiltrate through vents, but he became a liability, hence the disappearance. Climber speleologist Clark Burrows demonstrated the route. From the 5th floor marker to 8B through narrow shafts, 88 feet at a 40-degree incline. Deadly for an amateur. A pro with climbing gear could clear it in 18-25 minutes. The question: why hire a 71-year-old handyman when they could have used a young laser tech? Detective Morrison found the answer in Archie's notebook. He alone had master keys to utility panels. Flooding 3B's pipes could mask safe-cracking noises. Ethan Gray, fiddling with a pendant containing his mother's ashes, snapped, "Dad dug into Alicia's past, thought she swapped Marianne's meds with arsenic." Medical examiner Teresa Wong reviewed exhumation records. Marianne's hair contained thallium traces, poison accumulated over 7 months pre-death. But in 2016, labs lacked equipment for such analysis. Archie's notebook held a March entry: Kendall Pharmacy, request M's prescription archives. Head pharmacist Gloria Kendall confirmed. Alicia Morrow ordered Marianne's B12 vitamins through our branch, but your client's father checked 2016 shipment serials. Alicia, during interrogation, shattered her espresso mug at the mention of thallium. Another deranged Marines conspiracy theory. RF engineer Chuck Walters analyzed the vent schematics. The 5th floor damper controls airflow between units and the elevator shaft. Archie's lubricant reduces friction, allowing silent airflow redirection, if kept open from 7:30 p.m. to 8:00 p.m. Calculations showed heat waves from 3B's scorching radiator would travel upward, creating false human thermal signatures on rooftop sensors. Someone wanted us believing Gray was alive an hour post-disappearance, Riggs remarked, brushing dust off thermal charts. Lab technicians found cat fur on a screwdriver from the elevator shaft. DNA matched a stray that slept on Archie's tools. Veterinarian Lucy Zhang confirmed the animal had been sedated with diazepam, matching Gray's emergency prescription. The elevator shaft hid critical evidence. Beneath dust on a tool crate lay 3 of Archie's hair follicles and a Mars Corp 1988 digital recorder. Analysts recovered 43 seconds of labored breathing and metal grinding. Physicist John Harris recreated the sound, a damper rotating at 15 RPM. These vibrations only occur during manual adjustment. Why crank it repeatedly when one lever pull suffices? Disassembling the damper revealed a hidden compartment, a microcapsule containing a First Manchester Trust safe deposit key. Investigators found a wedding photo of Marianne and a note inside. If reading this, I'm close. Check Alicia's coffin. More than bones remain. Archibald Gray, 6/10/2023. Ethan's comments about his father's fears gained new meaning when police exhumed Alicia Morrow's remains. None existed. A final call to Sunrise Village Senior Home exposed the fraud. Dr. Morrow died 6/14/2016, 1 day before Marianne's official death date. The woman meeting Archie at Mabel's diner carried an Evelyn Trout passport, a look-alike recruited by a syndicate in 2014. Forensic teams continue searching Gray's body in the reservoir behind Elmwood 1285. Sonar detects a torso-sized metal object at 39-foot depth. Fishermen claim they've seen an old man in tan gloves fixing submerged valves, dismissed as local legend. The sole witness, a ginger cat, died 1 month post-disappearance, drowned in heavy cream in Unit 3B's basement. Its stomach contained a microfilm scrap with unreadable coordinates.